out. Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Past the Six. I am your host, JB. Joining me as always is Tokyo Swift and filling in for Wave this week. Gamer Live Look is back, man. Yo, before we even say what's up and all that, I want to appreciate Tokyo Swift for being here as always, and Gamer Live Look not only for being here tonight, but also on the Call of Duty Xbox Showcase stream this past Sunday. So with that said, what's going on?
What's chilling, man? We good, man. Over here. What's up?
Good, man. What's going on? Gamer Live Look.
Another day, another beautiful day, another opportunity to spend with my fellas right here. So I'm kind of enjoying it, man.
Absolutely.
Another opportunity to be with you guys.
Absolutely. And yo, if you guys are new to this, we split in the show into 4 parts. You start out with games we're currently playing. Then from there, we're going to this week in gaming, talk about some retro games that dropped throughout this week in history. Then from there, we'll touch upon some industry news. And then we'll get into the spinning wheel. One gotta go game versus, I believe it was Gamer Live Look who said it was rigged, even though for some reason the Game of Chance does align some of the question that feels like it is not rigged. That spin wheel is live. But yo, as always, we're gonna kick this one off, y'all, with what games we currently playing. So I must actually start off with Tokyo Swift.
Let's see. I'm still playing It Takes Two. I haven't finished that yet, but it is a really good game. It's very fun. It's wild because it's getting funner, but that's not a word, but it's getting funner as we progress deeper into the game. And I like what they did with it, man. I honestly I haven't even beat the game yet. I'm already ready to play it again. Again, I can see why I won game of the year. So that's a good game. I started playing Hellblade. I started playing that. And it's wild. I dropped off for a while, but I need to get back on it because it's dark. And dark as in figuratively and literally. I could not see. I thought something wrong with my TV. I was playing in the middle of the day, so I was so I need to come back and play at night, I guess, so I can see. But but it's a cool game so far. Yeah, I do agree with you, Jay. That it is a little point and clicky. It's not really too in depth. With it.
Right.
I feel like they want to focus more on the story than the actual gameplay, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. And another game we my daughter's she just started playing Splatoon 3.
Okay.
And she's really enjoying that game. And it's a cool game. She basically calls it paintball. So it's because it effectively it is paintball. I'm in Nintendo, I said, they don't miss, man. They make games that are very easy to learn and extremely hard to master. So it's you can pick it up and you can just start playing. Hell, she won a few games. She's 5. And she won. She helped her team win, but there's sometimes I don't know what's going on. But it's fun.
They're right.
I mean, so it's I definitely want to get better with that and start getting more collectibles and stuff in there, upgrade your weapons. But that's what I've been on this week.
Absolutely, that's what's up. Gamer Live, look, what you been playing?
Well, you know me, my normal Call of Duty, but also I've actually been finishing up my little odds and ends here on Power World, getting ready for the update that actually comes out not this week, but the following week. On the 27th, they're going to have the new island. They're going to have the new pals, raids, stadiums. dedicated servers. They're gonna have a lot of things coming out. So I'm kind of tidying that up, getting myself in a position where once that happens, I can go ahead and further progress in the game and stuff like that.
Yep.
Call of Duty, just doing everything I can to stay in it until Black Ops 6 decides to drop and change the game according to what we've seen so far.
Right, right.
That's the direction that they're going. But like a lot of games, they'll sell us something and give us something else.
Yeah,
so that's the fear behind it. My biggest culprit, I always think back of as much as I love the game, what the Division was sold to us versus the Division we got were two different things.
Yeah.
But
that's a very good point. Now, are you playing multiplayer? Or are you playing Warzone? Mixture of both?
Oh, Warzone. I don't do that.
Okay.
I only level up my guns. I only level up my guns on multiplayer. It's strictly or Resurgence, depending on who I'm playing with. So,
yeah. Okay. It's crazy that Warzone drop was, I think, 4 years ago now, right? I think officially.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it dropped during the pandemic.
June or March of 2020. That's when it was.
Yeah, it's crazy just to think like that much time has have flown by. Shout out to Nicholas Seltz checking out the show. Wes Jones as well. All right, let's get to this chat. Then we'll get on to This Week in Gaming. Jess said hi. What's going on? John said, "What's good, Kings?"
What's up, John? Bro?
He said he is still playing Elden Ring and he finally beat the Fire Giant.
Nice. Shout out to you, Van. Like, that game ain't easy.
Right. Big shout out to Drew Mark checking out the show as well. All right, let's get on to This Week in Gaming, where we briefly look back on games that dropped throughout this week in history. And kicking this one off, fellas, is one that I did not even know existed. Not even gonna lie, this game, I've never heard of this game until covering this show, so obviously I did not play it. But we're gonna talk about virtual chess, y'all. Like, it was dropped on the Nintendo 64 of June 10th, 1998. Now, before I even ask y'all thoughts on the game, are either one of y'all big fans of chess? Where you still are? I'm gonna start with Gamer Live Look.
I've actually played this game, believe it or not. One of the most memorable things for me about this game is the iconic elevator music that this game has. Absolutely. This game has crazy acoustic music to it. And when you capture a pawn or when you capture any piece within the game, it does these little bowling animations. So it's hilarious. You know how when you get a strike, the screen changes and all that. It does the same thing within the game. It was actually a pretty cool game. It was difficult, but it was fun. It was fun to play.
Yeah, man, that's what I literally when I was covering the game, I was like, chess. Obviously I know that there's been chess games on mobile. I know there's been chess games on like later on, but I didn't know this was on the 64. Tokyo Swift, you still a fan of chess? And if so, have you played this?
See, these are the animations I'm talking about.
Yeah. I didn't play this game, but I am a fan of chess. Like I was, especially back when this came out. So it's wild that I would assume that I would have had this had I known about it, because I used to play chess like I'm talking about like in chess club when I was in elementary school, learning how to play and stuff like that, man. So it's like I definitely would have been on this like had I known about it. But I mean, like I keep saying about all these games, these obscure games that came out in 1998. 1998 was the wrong time to be just a small game coming out, man. There was a lot of heavy hitters coming out, so it's a lot of games fell through the cracks, man. But
right,
I definitely would have played this game. I like chess. It's fun. Is like I like the strategy behind it, like the fact that you can't just react. You got to think 5, 6, 10 moves ahead. Like and if you don't, like, you can be outplayed like thoroughly. Like so, like and especially like the games like in like the chess games, like in the AI. The AI is notoriously hard on chess games. So it's like it definitely give you a challenge enough to avoid. And in terms of a video game, it's got a lot of replay value, obviously, because it's a board game. It's
right.
like you'll never have the same, like it's statistically impossible to have the same game twice, like in chess. So it's like because there's too many movements, too many variables. So I mean, like, it was a cool game. This is something that I like. Honestly, if I had access to it, I play it right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't take something like this and put this on the Switch Online expansion pack. I'm very curious as to why, or maybe it might be in the works. Gamer Live, look though, since you played this, was this one where it's like both a master at chess and a novice can play, or is it more like okay?
It was something you could pick up and play right away. There was actually tutorials in this on how to do everything and stuff like that.
Nice.
Teach you.
Okay.
This is one of those games that when you got it, like in the beginning, obviously if you're not a chess fan, it's not going to be your cup of tea. But if you do like chess, if you do like experiencing chess in different stages, this was something you should pick up, enjoy, and get your Bobby Fischer on, because that's sure as hell what I try to do when I played the game. I try to be the kid on the block that ran the neighborhood. Yo, play me some chess. What's up? What's up? What about Smash Bros? Nah, chess it up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, chess. Yeah, like chess is a thinking man's game, man. Yeah,
right, exactly. You want to use brute force, you go over there and do that. But if you want to use your intelligence, see me.
It's I'll tell you a quick story one time, because it's funny, because I tell some people a little while, like when I was 8 years old, like I said, I was in a chess club, right? So when I was 8 years old, I beat a chess master. Wow. Now I'm a preface that, and not only did I beat him, but he accused me of cheating, because I'm a preface that it's not like we didn't play like straight up one-on-one stuff like that. It's like it was one of those events where I'm a grand master and I'm gonna play like this whole class through at the same time. Walking down. Okay, move, checkmate.
Like 30 tables set up in one person. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess he must have got his boards mixed up, because he fell into a real. I mean, obviously, I'm 8 years old. I'm not saying that I'm Bobby Fischer like that, but I'm like, I'm 8 years old, so he fell into a real basic trap, right? and then I was like, he came through, he made a move. I was like, checkmate, and he was like, what? No, you moved the piece, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And like my teacher was there, he backed me up. He was like, nah. That I forget the name of the move. He said, "Nah, that's that. Like I taught him that. Like that's that. Like yeah, he didn't move anything. That's just checkmate." So I'm like, yeah, he was tight. So he had to give me a trophy, and take a picture of me.
I remember the trophy. Yep.
He was livid, man. I wonder what's going on with that trophy, because I haven't seen it in a while. Like he was livid. It was so funny, man. It's like I wish the internet was a thing back then, man.
All right, that's what's up. Yo, Ashley Larry said, fellas, what's good, bro? Hope all is well.
What's going on, Ashley?
Jess said, virtual chess? I mean, yeah, it's one of those games that,
yes, Jess. Yes, some of us are adults, Jess.
Jess said, I did not know that was a thing, but that's kind of fire. Yeah, we've seen games like it come to Xbox 360 arcade and things. I'm talking about the fact that this was 98. You know what I mean? That was the part that was cool, where it couldn't just be like a download, right? You had to put this on a cartridge. I thought
on a cartridge, cool.
John said, I didn't know either, but I could definitely see myself playing this. Yeah, it's definitely, again, even if they threw something like this on the expansion pack, I could definitely see me going back and at least checking it out. But
that was definitely fun. It was a good experience. It really was.
That's what's up. Yo, let's jump into the next game, fellas. Yo, the next game we're talking about is a game that this one I have heard of, but I have not actually played it. I'm just not really my scene, and that's StarCraft 64. Dropped June 12th, 2000, developed by Mass Media. I'm gonna kick this one off with Tokyo Swift, man. What's your thoughts on StarCraft? Have you went back and played it? What's your thoughts on it, bro?
I have heard of this game when it came out. I did not play it because, like you said, it wasn't my scene. At the time, I didn't really care for games like in this genre yet. So I skipped it. Initially, looking back at it, doing research on it, and looking back at it. I'm like, yeah, it's not a bad game. It seems pretty cool. Definitely a early entryway to resource management, especially because those type of games usually weren't on console for a while. They're usually restricted to PPC, so it was cool that they tried to make that jump into the console area. Yeah, but like I just said, it's like, yeah, it's just, I mean, it just at the time when it came out, like there were too many other games. Like I keep saying it again, like from 98 to like 2000, 2001, man, for especially for 64, like that's like it's too much fire coming out for me like to, oh well, let me try this, let me try that. And I'm like, nah, man, like the try the true stuff is out right now. So like I'm gonna hit with that. So I'm like, but yeah, like I mean, like hindsight being 2020, like this is a game probably that I slept on, like, and I probably should have played, but I mean, but it's okay.
Absolutely. Gamer Live, look, what's your thoughts on StarCraft 64?
Actually, it was a good game. I liked it. This is basically Command and Conquer. That's what this was. It's a skinned up Command and Conquer, just different name, same exact premise. Get resources, build a base, get your army all together, and invade other people on the map. That's exactly what it was. It was good for what it was. It was fun. It was definitely fun. It was not Command and Conquer by name, but it was just the same, basically the same premise. And the further along you get within the map, the better the resources get, the stronger your military gets, the bigger things you can build. It was pretty fun. It's just a nice simulation game to play.
Nice.
So I had a good time with it.
One thing I didn't notice when doing the research on this game was that this game never actually came to PlayStation, this particular game. And just looking back at, old magazines and stuff around it, a lot of PlayStation fans were upset because they played it on PC, right? But they wanted one on PlayStation. And it just, again, Blizzard at the time, I guess, had a deal with Nintendo. Who knows why? We don't know why it didn't happen, but I'm just curious. It's just one of those things how like you get certain games, you don't get certain games. We see it now, right? Spider-Man, Halo for some PlayStation fans, stuff like that. That's like you kind of get left salty that you're not getting that version of the game. But I just thought it interesting to see a case from 2000 like that.
Well, what's crazy about this? They probably didn't bother doing this for the first PlayStation because everything was already moving towards PlayStation 2, so they didn't want to waste. They didn't want to waste resources going backwards. And this would not have worked on PlayStation 2 because graphically, this would be something more within the PS1 ballpark. For PlayStation 2, it would have been a mess. So that's probably why they ended up leaving it off the PlayStation list.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I wish they would have did that a lot more because PS1 games dropped well into 2004, unfortunately. Now, we know they were always toned down and skinned down. Hell, we see it now, right? Games are still coming out on PS4. But at the same time, so I get what you're saying. It's just one of those things where it's like, I kind of do understand why fans were upset at the time. But, all right, let's jump to the next game. This next game is now a game I have heard of and have played, and that is Batman Begins. I'm gonna kick this one off, y'all, because when this game actually dropped, although I was not the biggest fan of the actual film, I thought this game was super fire, man. And like looking back at it now, actually still have the copy for PS2, popped it in, and boy was I wrong. Look, man, at the time, like I said, Batman, I've always been like hot and cold on, right? Some of the films I liked, some I didn't like, some of the games I loved. Mainly the one the joint for Sega Genesis. I loved some of the ones not so much. Big fan of the Arkham series, but this one, man, looking back, and it might just be the fact that I have played the Arkham series now. Looking like it's kind of but at the time playing this in real time, man, I thought this game was so fire. I actually thought it was better than the film because I was not a big fan of the film. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Batman game. At the time, hot. Now, hindsight. So I'm gonna pass it over to Gamer Live. Look, bro, what's your thoughts on Batman Begins?
Like you said, this is a twofold conversation. At the time, this game was graphically enhanced. You figure these are on the heavy hitter consoles, the PlayStation and the Xbox. Now that this is the beginning of the war. This is the beginning of the actual war and stuff like that. Game was good. Game gave you a lot of stealth. A lot of different things to integrate into the game and stuff like that. But then that's live. You play the Arkham series and then you compare this to the other. That's like that's Mario 64 to Super Nintendo to Mario 1. It's like, yeah, am I really enjoying this, or am I just going through this for nostalgic reasons?
Right.
So it was a whole different thing, but it was fun to play at the time. And like you said, this game was better than the movie. And that's a damn shame, but it was.
Tokyo Swift, what's your thoughts on Batman Begins?
I'm gonna just say before I start, man, like the dude, like they just zoomed in on the camera. That was definitely Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4. But but yeah, I mean, like it was like I agree with y'all, man. Like it's like for its time, like it looked great. Like you wouldn't like think that, okay, wow, this is like 2005, like this is what games look like, stuff like that. Especially because we've seen games that came out later than 2005 and it looked like a lot worse than this. So I mean, like it's cool that they did that. But movie tie-in games are always been hit or miss for me, because it's like, I mean, just watch the movie. I mean, and if you already watch the movie, you kind of spoil the game for yourself. Like, and if you didn't watch the movie, you play the game, you spoil the movie for yourself. So you know, so it's like, I mean, I get it from that way standpoint. But yeah, I mean, but it was a solid. Like, I'm not particularly a fan of Batman too much, but I appreciate the medium, and I appreciate like what he's done for, especially for like comic book movies and games and superhero movies.
Yeah.
And games, even though Batman is not a superhero, but yeah, but it's I like it. I mean, like it does lend, like his skill set does lend well to the video game genre, in terms of like stealth, in terms of like beat 'em ups, in terms of detective work, you know, things like that and nature. But it was funny, like in this game, because they tell you, oh, like this one that when you're in the Batmobile, you blowing up cars and like knocking cars off the road. Oh, no casualty. I'm like, everybody alive, everybody survived all this. Like, okay, man. Like Batman got a lot of blood on his hands in this game, man.
Sure as hell does. All right, yo, let's get to this chat and then we'll get to the next game. Jess said, I know I always say Spider-Man is the perfect superhero video game perfect for video game adaptations, but Batman is definitely a close second.
Facts.
See, I think Batman, based off, to echo what both of y'all says, Batman sometimes plays better in video games than it actually does on film. Like, and now there's Batman movies I love, don't get me wrong, but I think Batman is like perfect for video games, and sometimes it's hard to bring that to film. Like, if that makes sense. Kind of like people say with Mortal Kombat, how it's easier to do an animated movie on it than it is to do a live action. It's like Batman is like, it kind of falls into that realm too, kind of.
I want to say like Mortal Kombat's like a problem with like media, like because even like the animated version or the live action version, stuff like that, the way movies are just built here, it's like, hey, we want a beginning, middle, and end. Like the bad guy has to lose at the end of the day, you know, something like that. Whereas in Mortal Kombat, they kind of paint themselves into a corner, because the whole idea is to kill your opponent. So like you're killing off too many characters. Like if you stay true to it, you're killing off too many characters. But if you don't stay true, if you don't stay true to that, then you're not killing off anybody, because you're literally, even for sequels, they're like, hey, it's Mortal Kombat, but nobody dies. You know, so yeah, so it's like they kind of paint themselves into a corner for that. Like for that
absolutely.
franchise.
It's called Mortal Go to Sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Mortal. I'll see you later.
All right, yo. So, the next game we're talking about, fellas, is a game that people call a classic. I actually agree with them. I think it's one of PlayStation's best games ever, and that is The Last of Us, which dropped June 14, 2013. I'm gonna kick this one off with Gamer Live. Look, what's your thoughts on The Last of Us?
Very good game. Very good game. The story kept you engaged the entire time. Just the whole thing about it was well done. I'm not a PlayStation person at all. And to me, this was the first game I can honestly say that PlayStation did a phenomenal job with. I know that they have their Gods of Wars, their Spider-Mans, all these exclusives, but this specific game right here not only drew me into it, but it drew a lot of PlayStation fans towards it, and it had such a big impact in this genre of gaming that a lot of other games that came out after this were successful because of what they did with this.
Right. That's a good point. Tokyo Swift, his thoughts on The Last of Us.
I'm gonna say this like and I apologize in advance to people, but I was like The Last of Us is one of the most overrated games of all time. And I don't take that as me saying, oh, it's not a good game or it's not a bad or it's a bad game or like that. It's a great game. It's just that the way it's been blown out of proportion as like the end all be all of a video game. I mean, does it have a great story? Yes, a phenomenal story. So great of a story that I think that it actually takes away from the video game medium that is placed in. It's like I found myself, because I played this game and the second game as well. I found myself wanting to just hurry up and get through the actual playing parts just to get back to the cut scenes, just to get back to the story. And I thought myself, this might be one of the first times like, you know what? I'd much rather watch this on TV or watch somebody else play it rather than actually play it myself. And then when the TV show came out, it kind of solidified that. I'm like, because the TV show is phenomenal. Like the TV show is like, I was like, you know what? This might be the first video game franchise ever that I thought, you know what, I much rather just watch somebody else play it, or like I don't want to play it, you know, like it's like because the when I always say this, when it comes to video games, story is very, very important. You know, gameplay is important. The most important mechanic is it fun? All right. Yep. I don't have fun playing this game. I enjoy the story, but I'm like, oh man, this is fun. I love crack after these fake bombs, or I like shooting up these infected or something like that. Like, I don't have fun playing this game. I enjoy the story though. So it's like, I mean, I like. Don't get me wrong. I like this game. I have, like I said, I have this game. I have like this literally was the first game I bought when I bought my my PlayStation 4. And then I have the Last of Us Part 2 as well. But this is like the praise though on this game has gone way over the top with it. It's like to the point where it's like people got to actually think back. It's like think back at it. At its flaws, stuff like that. I mean, yes, the story is amazing, and it lends more to a TV show than a video game. To me, that's a problem. Because if I don't want to play the game, if I just want to watch it, then yeah, like to me, that is a setback to it. But like I said, it's still a great game. I mean, I wish PlayStation would stop remastering it every 2 years because I mean, but because it's like it's already come out on PlayStation 4 and 5 already, and it'll be out on PlayStation 6 too. So I think, so I mean, it's it's a great game, but yeah, like it's let's pump the brakes on it though.
So a few things. One thing I want to say about when it comes to liking the story more than actually, you know, physically playing the game, right? I'm not going to be a hypocrite because that definitely kind of applies to Hellblade as well, right? I've been on the show saying that like the thing I like the most about it is the story. One thing particular about this game, I do think it's one of the best games on the, you know, quote unquote, you know, modern PlayStation consoles. I'm not putting it above God of War per se, but this was one of the two games. Like I always said, if it's a multi-platform game, I'm probably going to play it on Xbox because I like the controller better, right? So, but this was one of those games that, but if I am going to buy a PlayStation, it's always for God of War. But everyone was saying, yo, now that you got the PlayStation, The Last of Us. So I'm like, all right, bet. So when I finally got around to playing it, I had a lot of fun with this game. I thought it was great, but at the same time, like I will say it's probably one of the best. Actually, it's probably the best game on the PS3. One of the best games on the PS4. I'm not giving it one of the best games on PlayStation as a brand. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's very good, but I don't think it's not topping like Crash Bandicoot. Some of the earlier stuff they did. I do think in that way it is a bit overrated, but I do think the game's a lot of fun. I'd play The Last of Us Part 3, right? I thought the TV show was great as well. So I kind of get both of your sentiments. Great game, probably a tad bit overrated, if that makes sense.
Well, let me ask you guys.
Yeah, because
this is go ahead, Tokyo.
No, so my fault. I was just going to just say, like, again, like, really quick, like, just because something is overrated, it doesn't mean that it's bad. Like, I think it's a great game. It's just not as great. Like people would say, oh, it's a 10. I would say it's a 9. But I mean, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Like, so yeah, go ahead.
All right. So before The Last of Us, I really want you to think about this. What game did you play that had a story so intriguing to you that you couldn't wait to cut your console on to play it? I want you to think about that.
Story, like,
just story.
Just straight story. If I had like, hey, what story was I really? You know what? GTA 4. I really like
GTA 4?
I really like the story from that one.
So mine, I could answer that easily, and that's Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, and Deception. Both of those games, I was so heavy into the story. Like, even till this day, I can go from that game on with all the stories. Like, I can play those. Like, there's times where I play those games multiple times, and if I want to just play the fighting aspect, I'll just play online, right? But I play the story modes multiple times because I like the actual stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel you though. I get what you're saying, because without this story, right, this game doesn't appear on list, right?
No, it's not
exactly.
The story is what gives the allure to this game. Right. That story is up there with those other games that have phenomenal stories. Granted, overrated or not, this story was so good that a show adaptation knocked it out the park. It wasn't like other games that they had an adaptation to a show that flopped. Like, for example, how do I feel about this Among Us adaptation coming out? I have no kind of faith in that whatsoever. Even though it's a cartoon, I have no faith in that because it doesn't hold substance. Now, this has substance. A live action show of this can go in any direction and just further enhance the story. So when sequels come out, there's expansions to it. This can be within its own universe. That's what makes this game so good, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you. Like, because I would say, like, in terms of story, I struggle to think of a game that's like, okay, that story is way better than the Last of Us. I think like I said, the story is top notch. I honestly, like, I don't really, like, again, like a hot take, I don't really care for Uncharted. Like, it's just like, I think Uncharted is just for dudes like who didn't want to play as Lara Croft, man. So yeah.
Tomb Raider for dudes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
okay. Let me correct that. Tomb Raider for bros. Tomb Raider for bros.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's like
a modern Indiana Jones.
I can't, honestly, like, off the top of my head right now, it probably did take me all week. I can't think of a video game like that had a better story, like a self-contained story. I'm not talking about like over a franchise. A self-contained story better than this.
That's a good point. Let's get to the chat.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Let's get to the chat.
Jess said the story is so good that it didn't need to be groundbreaking as a game itself. I think this game, to Game Reliable's point, it kind of kicked off this genre where it's like, we're going to tell the story in full format, right? Put the best story forward. Like, again, Hellblade is this formula. Like, the story is so good. That's why I think sometimes they got to figure out a way to do it, because Hellblade, as I'm sure Tokyo Swift can attest to, there's so much whispering in the background. Like, like, yo, what are they saying? Like, and
I don't know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, so, I don't know what's happening, but that's the point of help. Yeah, that's the point. You don't know what's happening.
Absolutely. Larry McAllister, what's going on, bro? He said, your post about the Game Boy Advance got me riled up. I never understand how Nintendo always released inferior consoles to its direct competitors, but always beat them in sales. I think the answer to that specifically, and I'll get you guys answer as well, is replayability, man. Like a lot of Nintendo games, like think about it. I bring up Smash Bros. No matter which one, everybody has a story about it. GoldenEye, No Mercy, Super Mario. They're all like basically they create. It's like they make memories within these games, and we could throw on GoldenEye right now, right? We could throw on No Mercy, all these multiplayer games that Nintendo's known for, Mario Party, and have fun with them, right? Even if something like Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, Gold, stuff like that. Memories with all these games that I feel like sometimes these graphical showcases we see now, it's like sometimes you play and then you're done with it just like that, and then you probably never go back to it. But
yeah,
I do want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Yeah.
It's exactly like to can tie it into the Last of Us right now. I mean, like, yeah, it's like 10 out of 10 story, but I've been in terms of gameplay, it's like very little replayability. So I mean, like,
you can watch the story.
Yeah, I can just watch the story on a YouTube or something like that. Or now I can just watch the TV show. So like whereas like say like a Smash, like it's just like I mean it's just infinite. Like we'll be playing that to like until the end of time. You know, like it's like it's I mean. They're like I was saying, like Splatoon, like it's a fun game. Like it's like that's a lot of people forget that as a determinant factor of a good game is fun. How much fun can you have playing? Because if you could have a lot of fun playing a game, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter if the story is bad. It doesn't matter if there is a story at all. Like if you can have I think of a Titanfall when that comes to mind. Titanfall basically had no story, no campaign like that. It was like, hey, look, fam, you got a giant robot. Play so you know what I mean, so yeah, it's like if it's fun, like people are gonna keep coming back to it, you know.
Think about It Takes Two.
Exactly, yeah. I mean that also has a good story, but I mean, but it's fun. It's like honestly, that's probably some of the best fun I've had in a video game.
Absolutely,
for a
I
while.
had the same thing.
It's fun. It's very. I encourage everybody to play it if you haven't played it. It's so fun. Like it's like I got to a part. I don't want to spoil anything like that, but I got to a part where like the game turned into like a Warcraft. Like
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
It's just fun, man. It's so fun.
And I think sometimes that's what's missing in the video games. Gamer Live Look, do you have a thought on that?
No, just like he said, like Tokyo said, if a game is fun, nothing else matters.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's fun as a single player game or it's fun as a multiplayer game. That enjoyability creates the replayability. If it doesn't have that enjoyability, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's going to be a flyby through the night game. You're going to be collecting dust on your shelf and not be talking about it anymore unless there's expansions or whatever. But you don't buy a game to play expansions. You buy a game to not only enjoy it, but for replayability. And if that's not there, you have nothing.
Absolutely. That's a good point. I know we rag on these two games now, but look at Call of Duty, look at Grand Theft Auto, right? Like we rag on them, but every year Call of Duty is the number one selling game, and every year people still playing Grand Theft Auto 5. So like, and that should be the goal, right? Every year you're gonna sell games and you're gonna have this massive player base, and your game has longevity. Obviously, their marketing is different because Grand Theft Auto comes out every so often and Call of Duty's yearly. But I think that's the point. Last comment before we get into topics. Just says we're probably going to continue to get games that are story mechanics, a story greater than mechanics as VR and AR tech continues to advance. There is a Jurassic Park game that's coming out on console, but there's also a Jurassic Park game coming out for VR, not too far probably behind it. That's probably going to be a great experience. So I agree with that. The story hopefully is fun, but they're trying to tell stories with these games now. It's like it's a copycat industry, right? I hope we get back to more of the fun, but I definitely agree with that.
I'm ready for the VR Jurassic Park, baby. I'm ready for that.
Nice.
Absolutely. All right, yo, let's jump into topics, man. real quick, yeah, what are we gonna talk about? Is Summer Games Fest is now completely over. Yesterday capped it off with the Ubisoft show, and I just want to get you guys' thoughts on this because besides Xbox Showcase aside, right? Because that was towards the end. Before that, they were killing Summer Games Fest, y'all. They were like, this was not good. They were saying this was like a waste of time. Similar to sentiments we saw at the Game Awards, right? Too many ads, too much marketing for brand deals and stuff. And we understand the show has to get paid for, but at the same time, and people are saying this year Xbox kind of saved it, and the Call of Duty announcement. So I just want to get you guys' thoughts on how can they fix it. I think it's needed with E3 being gone now. I don't think the summer can just be bare. I will say I like the format of you have a kickoff show, then you have studios going or themes going. This year was themes, games developed by women. They had games for the family. Xbox did their thing. They had a thing for PC. They had a thing for Ubisoft. I like the format, but it just never seems to hit whenever Jeff, who runs it all, is on stage talking and they have special guests on stage. How can this be fixed going forward? Because we're not getting E3 back. So this is what we got to work with. I'll start with Gamer Live Look.
So to me, and I understand that these shows got to get paid for and stuff like that, but if this is a showcase, this is something that you want to put together. This is something that you want to get your fans of your console, of your whatever you're selling excited. Trim the fat. We don't need these celebrities that are just here for this moment. We never see them playing the game. We never see them involved in any of the damn game. We don't need that. So show the money out of your pockets yourself and create the showcase amongst yourselves. Share, split the bill. Get straight to the point. Give the fans what they want to see. We don't need to know what Bart Simpson is doing sitting next to Bob's from Bob's Discount Furniture talking to Barbie. We don't need to know all that. We don't care. We want to know what's going to happen when we pay you that money for this game. Are we getting a complete game? Or are we going to sit here and talk about how crappy your game is? Like, we really want the experience of the game. We don't need this whole extra, hey, Justin Bieber, do you play Minecraft? No, we don't need that. Who cares? And that's just God's honest truth.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Tokyo Swift, what you got, man? How can we fix Summer Games Fest? You might as well throw in the Game Awards as well because it's the same complaint.
Gamers said said it all. It's like, yeah, like you said, trim the fat. Like we don't need like here's Anthony Mackie just like announce like the next game, and stuff like that. Like I think Xbox did with their showcase, they had the blueprint. It's like, look, fam, here it is. World premiere. Gameplay. Especially because in the summertime, like the summer games, because some of these games are imminent. These games aren't like, oh yeah, like coming soon in 2027. These games, hey, this is coming out in September. This is coming out in October, November, or it's coming out early next year.
Right.
Like I always said, man, when you talking about a game coming out like within a year, I want to see some gameplay. Yep. And if it's coming out in a few months, I want to see nothing but gameplay and a deep dive in how the gameplay works, like the mechanics work. If you can't show me that, you're wasting everyone's time. So like that's what I liked about the Xbox showcase. There's so much actual gameplay. So it's like it doesn't matter. Like you can show me a cinematic trailer. I've seen cinematic trailers before. I've seen cinematic trailers for No Man's Sky. Mm-hmm. I've seen cinematic trailers for Anthem. I've seen cinematic trailers for Cyberpunk. You see where I'm going with this, right? Yep. So I mean, like, so I don't care about like a cinematic trailers because anybody with Final Cut Pro can put together a trailer, like a cinematic trailer. Show me the gameplay, okay? So like that's what's going to get me hype. I don't care about like the cinematic. So yeah, like they just got to just focus on that. Focus on the gameplay because these games are imminent. Like you could say, oh, hey, just so down the line, like a teaser, but it's only for something big. Like I say, oh, like the new Metroid Prime that's may or may not never come out, or like or a new Halo or a new Zelda or something like that. But I don't want to see no teaser trailer for like some game I never heard of before. Like so give me something. Give me the good stuff. Give me the gameplay, and that's it. Give me gameplay, release dates. That's all I need. That's all I need from that.
So if I can real quick, that's actually what I loved about the showcase for Xbox, because the games that were coming out early, they let the gameplay be the trailers. And the games that were announced, like for example, Gear 6, you just got your cinematic. You ain't get nothing about that because it's still in development. Exactly. But it's the official announcement. Hey, it's coming. Be ready. But everything else, for the most part, that had dates, you got gameplay trailers. You didn't get cinematics, which I respected the hell out of it, because now it gave you something to look forward to.
So I put myself through hell, fellas. I went back and I watched that 2-hour show on Friday because I was trying to pick apart, because me and Gamer Live Look and Wave Tokyo. So if we sat here on Sunday and 2 hours felt like that, right? And I realized that
it was the craziest thing in the world.
It was the same exact amount of time. Friday when I watched it felt like a drag, right? When we streamed the Game Awards, that felt like a drag. And I think one of the things I realized is whenever they have these official Summer Games Fest kickoff / Game Awards, it feels like it's not even for us as gamers, right? It feels like they're trying to, okay, Anthony Mackie's there. He's the new Cap, right? In Marvel, maybe we can get some of their fans who aren't gamers to come into gaming, right? Or we'll get The Rock on stage, or we'll get Jordan Peele. And I know he's working on the game with Kojima, but it's like maybe we can kind of convert those fans. It's like, but this is supposed to be for us, right? It's supposed to be for gamings. Now, there's going to be some people there for the celebrities that's always going to be there. But me and Gamer Live Look, we got hyped when we, as you see on the screen now, when they were just talking about the different movement in the new Call of Duty.
The Omni movement. Oh,
if you're not a gamer, you're not going to be hype about that. But the fact that we do play these games, and on Summer Games Fest on the kickoff, it was like they would show a trailer and then we'd get about 5 minutes of talking, and it's like they mentioned nothing about the game that we just saw, or nothing about the game that we're about to see. Like, so what are we doing here, right? And again, I know people are going to say advertisements. There's a ton of media out there that has an advertisement on screen. It does fine. Or he could be standing there with a bottle of Pepsi in his hand, right? That's an advertisement. But to have these people on stage and talking, it does starting to feel like a insult, because we get like 3 hours in. Like the Game Awards was 3.5 hours, and
that's crazy.
They had 5 categories that were announced on stage. Everything else was just a graphic on screen, and they were cutting people's speeches short and stuff like that. It's just starting to feel like it's more about the money. It's kind of starting to feel like a slap in the face to actual gamers. Like, it's not even for us, but it's all we have now, because E3 is not a thing. And I think they got to find a way to get Nintendo back on board, because Nintendo is like quietly boycotting.
Nintendo's not coming. Yeah, Nintendo's never gonna do, because the Nintendo Directs have been a hit. So it's like they're in no way they're gonna be like, hey, why would we come here just to do the thing? We can just do our own thing like online. Nintendo's never coming back for that.
So like Jay was saying, when we were sitting there watching the actual showcase, we got that childhood feeling of watching these trailers and enjoying trying to guess what we were looking at,
right?
Without and when we figured out what some of these games were, how excited we got. Like, how excited when I called out Perfect Dark. That was crazy. I was like, wait, this looks like Perfect Dark. And we were blown at the end when it was Perfect Dark. Or Fable, when I seen the Fable trailer, I freaked out because I got so excited, because it's been since 2005, 2004. It's forever. Doom was crazy. Jay damn near lost his mind watching the beginning of Doom when the dude was throwing the shield around.
Yeah,
he's like, what the hell's going on? It was just such a euphoric feeling to enjoy that, and it made you feel like a little kid again. And that's what Xbox did this year. Not only did they do that, but what a lot of people missed on what they were actually doing, they weren't selling the company. They were selling the Game Pass. That's what they were doing. This was a big infomercial to show the industry what's the value of the Xbox Game Pass, not only for Xbox but for PC. Not only for PC, but hey, Nintendo, you signed with us. Congratulations. This is a part of yours now. Sony doesn't want to play. Well, look at these games coming out. Sony fans, I'm sorry, you will have to pay for them.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
You hate to see it.
That's the reality.
And you hate to see it because it's like Sony don't care about their fans. Sony care about that money, and Game Pass is like the best deal in video game history. I'm like it's like yo, you pay one-time fee for a year, and then if you download two games, you already made your money back.
Absolutely.
It's like basically literally buy two, get the rest free. So it's like I mean it's crazy. And then people are like, oh well, you don't own the games, blah blah. You're right, you don't own the games, but by the time they come off Game Pass, and you need to, and maybe you need to rebuy them. You've either stop playing them, for the sports games, you probably stop playing them, or they're so heavily discounted that I mean, it costs it'll be cheaper to buy it at the end. So
Absolutely.
it's perfect example, like Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite came out what, three years ago now, something like that. It's still on Game Pass. Right. I still don't own that game. But I can still play it right now if I want to.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's just honestly right now, if you got an Xbox or a PC and you play those games, so you want to play these games and you don't have a Game Pass, you're hustling backwards.
Yeah.
See, and what I like about, if I can real quick, Jay, what I like about the direction Xbox is moving to now is they're going for gaming preservation. That's what they're going for. So even if the game does roll off of Game Pass, it will be back. They're not just going to get rid of the files, call it a day. No, they're giving us the opportunity for these moments to replay these classic games and relive those moments we wanted, we felt. Everything. So that's what they're working on, and that's what makes everything that they're doing a hell of a lot better. It's because they are moving towards that.
Absolutely. And I'll leave this topic on one thing. I know he retired, but apparently PlayStation is now going to have a presence at the Game Awards. Go figure, right? Because Xbox just did a good job. Xbox will be there too. We know Nintendo most likely will be missing, although sometimes their executives do attend. They just don't really have nothing to show because they do their own thing. One thing that we did hear was, and it's a rumor technically because he's retired now, was that Jim Ryan wanted to start to put this state of plays, the PlayStation shows, behind the PlayStation Plus wall. Basically, if you're not a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you weren't getting that. Obviously, that didn't happen, and apparently they now have two. Now his job got split into two, so they now have two CEOs, and apparently it's not going to happen. But just to speak to both of your parts about how PlayStation, their agenda is different, right? So I'm very curious to see now, do they kind of go the Xbox route? Because now they're focusing on PlayStation Plus now, right? Now they're going to come back to the award show. So I'm very curious to see what they do this year under new leadership. So we'll see. But let's get to this chat, and then we'll get on to the next piece of news, and then we'll get to that spin wheel. Jeff said, the show on Friday felt like onboarding trainings you do that you don't want to do when you start a new job.
It did feel like a job within a job.
Just said the format was good, but I'm not sure of even the word I'm looking for, but corporate. It felt like speaking to a board of directors rather than fans of a franchise. I think that's a good way to put it.
That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Like they was like, hey, look, they're not putting it out for the fans. They're putting out, hey, look, guys, what we're doing to our trustees in our stockholders. Like, hey, look, this is what we got, and this is going to make this much money. Like, yeah, so
right, absolutely.
I can believe it.
I think what she meant to really say was it felt like us sitting in front of a Kim Jong-un speech, like robots in North Korea. That's how bad that was.
She said, you basically said it. They're trying to hard wave a flag and say, hey, look how cool gaming is to people outside the customer base versus making a show for the core demographic. Showcases are not where you should be attempting to gain new customers.
Right, facts. So it's like because that's like, I mean, obviously it's not a video game related, but this has like been my problem. Like I'm a hardcore baseball fan, and as like watching the MLB change over the years to try to get these new fans and change rules and stuff like that, implement stuff like that, you alienate the hardcore fans that got you to this status in the first place. You know, like, okay, yes, you need new fans, but there's a time and place to get at that. You know,
Absolutely.
like, and you don't want to change up the game so much that now the hardcore fans don't recognize it and or don't like it, you know? So like you still have to, at the end of the day, always appeal to your fans first, and then focus on getting new fans once you satisfied your actual fans. Because like you can lose fans. Like people don't like, they seem to not understand it. You can lose fans.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like you mentioned about baseball, I can't stand the pitch clock and the batter's clock. I
can't stand it either. I hate it.
I understand that speeded up the game, and the game is running under 3 hours. Great, congratulations. But you just literally take away from the game. You took away from those intense moments. You took away from bottom of the ninth, tied game, bases loaded, 2-3 pitch, 2 outs. They have to rush that instead of going into the psychological games and all that stuff. You got rid of all that.
I hate it, man. I hate it so much. Like, and like, yeah, sorry. Like, we hijacking the show for some baseball. Like, it's like, yeah, like, I just don't. I can't stand that, man. It's just like, it's just not the game. You know, it's not. That's not how the game is played. And like to bring it back, like MLB the Show 24 now, they actually implemented the rule, like the disengagement rule for pitchers. So you can only throw over to first base 3 times.
Yep.
So yeah, so like
ball or they get the base, right?
Exactly. So it's like, so I know that. So I take incredibly large leads to get them to throw over, and then like, okay, like they've already disengaged 3 times, so I can literally just walk to second base, like and steal a base. Like it's, man, it's like it's. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it.
All right, let's jump into the next topic, y'all. Halo 1 remake is in the works. That's probably one of the worst kept secrets right now in gaming because Phil Spencer kind of alluded to it in an interview. But one of the big thing is we've heard when he said there's, Xbox games that might come over to PlayStation. One of those games people believe is this Halo 1 remake. Now, we're all big fans of Halo, and we always talked about the possibility of it coming to PlayStation. Just what's your thoughts on this being in the technically being another remake, right? Because technically they did do this for the anniversary in 2011, yeah. But also, what's your thoughts on this being possibly going to PlayStation for the first time?
I don't care. I mean, like it's like, yeah. I mean, like you can go on PlayStation, go on Switch, man. You can put it on Sega Genesis for all I care, man. Like it's like it doesn't stop me as a fan of Halo from enjoying the game. Like that's the one thing I never understood about PlayStation fans. Like, oh, we only want it on our system and they can't have it. I'm like, but the more people that have access to it, the more people that play it, the better the game gets. The better, absolutely. the more resources the developers put into the next game or that current game now, because like with DLC and stuff like that, like the more eyes on the game, the better, man. Like so, I honestly I probably won't buy it because I played Halo 1 to death. Like I have the Master Chief Collection, so I technically don't need it. But I mean, but it's good to see like I hope it gets like the remaster that it deserves. I hope that it gets like definitely a graphical update and overhaul.
Absolutely.
And I'm only the only reason why I'd be interested in like any of these remakes for the Halo series is because there are some things that the earlier games had that Halo Infinite took out of the game that I would like to see make a comeback, or I wasn't sure why they took it out. Like for instance, the game modes. They took out so many game modes for Halo Infinite that were in Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, blah blah, stuff like that. I want to see those make a return. What I really want to see make a return that I know it's not going to happen, unfortunately, is split screen. Split screen, in if it wasn't for split screen and play, Halo 1 wouldn't have been the massive success that it was. So I definitely want to see stuff like that come back.
Absolutely. Gamer Live, look, what's your thoughts on Halo 1 being remade basically for modern consoles, and 2, possible PS5 debut?
Well, if we get a good remake, I'm all for it. If we're not just gonna get a copy and paste job, color it up a little bit and call it a day.
Right.
We don't need that. We need if you're gonna remake it right. That's 1. 2. As far as it going to PlayStation 5, go ahead. Put it on Nintendo Switch, Sega Genesis. You know why?
Right.
Just have a proctologist on standby because you just gave me more people to put my foot in their butt. That's all you did. That's all you did. That's all you did.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
To be honest with you, all it's going to do is just expand the gameplay. It's going to extend the pool of players you're going to play with, especially if they do a multiplayer mode. And it's going to give the PlayStation 5 people that didn't experience it, or the PlayStation people that didn't experience the game on Xbox because A, they don't want Xbox, B, they don't like Xbox, for whatever reason, they're still going to buy into it, to try it, to enjoy it, to have that feeling of what we missed out on. The only downside to this is, when PlayStation does get this, is the fact that they kind of already had a Halo experience with Destiny. So it kind of takes away from it. But that's the only drawback.
So my thoughts on it is, 1, I'm here for it. Like Game Reliable said, if they do it right, take the time. I don't need this game to be out this year. Do it right. Tokyo Swift, I know you said that you wouldn't purchase it, but we don't have to. We have Xbox. It's going to be on Game Pass. So so if PlayStation fans want to go out and spend $70 for it, then go ahead. One of the cool parts about it is I did see some PlayStation fans hype about it though. They're like, it'd be so cool. Some of them are taking, the cool approach of it's cool to have cross-play, right? Finally being able to play Halo. You do have some kids, how a lot of us grew up, we only get one console, right? And they just happen to have PlayStation, so now they can play with their friends on Xbox. That part is cool. Everything else, I kind of agree with y'all. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but except the fact that we'll have some people to beat up on and easily rank up on. So
exactly. So, yeah. We got a 20-year lead over them.
Right?
Exactly. The way I'm looking at this is, Xbox has officially realized that they're not winning the console war.
Right.
So instead of looking to creating exclusive, why don't the company, and this is what they're doing, why don't we become more inclusive?
Yeah, I mean, it's Microsoft's brand, because obviously you look at their other divisions, we see Microsoft Word and stuff available for Apple, right? They work with their competitors.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just basically, it's one of those things where they're gonna make it Sony look like they're fighting against themselves. Like who you act like
you're only hurting your own fan base.
Neither one of us is gonna catch Nintendo in sales. That's not happening. No. And we're not even really running the same race that you are. You're really just shadow boxing now. You know what I mean? Like that's really what you're doing. And like Game Live said, you're hurting your own fan base. Jess said PlayStation fans are going to say you lost your best exclusive. It's like, man,
not really.
So what?
We just invited you. We just invited you to our. I don't even think we lost our best exclusive. We just invited you to our world. You're welcome.
Right.
Right. It's like right. I mean, it's like it's so silly how how PlayStation fan invoice thinks sometimes. It's like, look, I mean, like the game gets better when everybody else plays it. Like it's just like I don't understand. Like, oh, there's too many people playing this game. Like, okay.
The moment that Fortnite and Call of Duty went crossplay, that was the greatest thing in the world, because now you just opened a whole new world for everybody. So now imagine having that same experience and feeling in other games.
Absolutely.
With titles, with this, like Madden does it now, NBA 2K does it now. Like it took Sony forever to get on board with it, but when it happened, it opened doors. Absolutely. Now we're gonna have those doors open in other arenas. That's gonna be so much fun.
It's really that simple.
It should have always been like that.
It should have been, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Without a doubt. So let's get to the spam. Well, y'all know the drill. We're going to do 3, and then we're going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all sticking with us on this Tuesday night / Wednesday morning, right, Tokyo Swift?
Just remember, guys, this is rigged.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be questions about Halo. It's going to be questions.
How do you feel about? Do you think The Last of Us is overrated?
Let's go.
What do you think about the Xbox showcase? Well,
best PS2 game is blank. What y'all got?
Best PS2
there's some bangers here too.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's not an exclusive like PS2 game, but it was at the time when it ever released. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's the best one. That's the best one for me. Like God of War is a close second, but I think that's the best one for me.
So I would have to say the same thing as Grand Theft Auto and San Andreas, but Tekken Tag a close second. Tekken Tag was phenomenal, and I love the bowling mode in that game. That bowling mode was so fun in that game for absolutely no reason.
So as much as I want to say God of War, I'm actually going with Grand Theft Auto 3.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like, I get it.
Yeah, like I did go back eventually and play the PC version, but playing that on the PS2, man, that was special. And God of War, as much as to be honest, God of War is why I bought every PlayStation console. But playing that Grand Theft Auto 3 at the time, brand new, because nothing like Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2. It kind of
the game.
Yeah. So I gotta go Grand Theft Auto 3. I know fans are gonna be like, it's not technically exclusive, even though at the time it was, but
it was at the time. Yeah.
There was another game that I loved on the PlayStation 2, and that was actually Madden 01 with Eddie George on the cover.
That
was probably one of the best.
I remember that game.
Phenomenal. And that's, you figured the first Madden. The Madden 2000 was the first one that was actually on the PlayStation 2. It wasn't that well, but 2001, when you seen the graphics and how clean it was, and just the presentation of the game was just mind blowing for the time.
The days where Madden was new.
I agree.
Inventive.
I agree. Like, because I had that game, but I had it for GameCube. It was fire. That game was fire.
Next up, shout out to an Eddie George reference on Pass the Sticks.
Of course.
That
had to come out
on the sideline.
That had to come out because Christian McCaffrey won the Madden title for 25. And there's only been 5 running backs to ever have that title, which is Peyton Hill, Edgerrin James. I mean, not Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Sean Alexander, Eddie George, and Christian McCaffrey.
Which is crazy because back in the day, it was a running league. You know what I mean?
It was a running league, but the quarterbacks always got it. Calvin Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald were the few of the receivers who got it. But Larry Fitzgerald had to share his with Troy Polamalu. I believe he was.
That's true. That's crazy because now I think about it. Culpepper was on 2002.
Yeah, it was Culpepper. It was Culpepper. 03, I believe, was Kurt Warner. 04 was
03 was Marshall Faulk.
04 was
Vic.
Oh no, 04 was Vic. Yes.
Of course.
05 was Donovan McNabb.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
06 was Donovan McNabb. 07, I believe,
Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander. 08 was Vince Young, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Vince Young. Yeah.
Vince Young. 09 was, what's his name? I think it was Drew Brees.
Yep.
I don't remember. Because I remember, I remember 2010. It just went crazy.
Yeah.
But it was mostly quarterbacks.
All right, let's get to the next one, man. Best SNES game. Okay.
I'll take this. To me, this is easy.
Okay.
To me, this is either Contra Alien Wars was probably the best NES game to ever come out, in my opinion. The multiplayer in that game, the replayability, the different things that you were able to do in that game for what it was phenomenal. And you had so much fun playing this. It was up there with Turtles in Time.
That's a good one too. I'm going with my heart here, man. I can't answer this objectively. I'm being real with y'all. I'm going with Zombies Ate My Neighbors, man. That's
that
my
was
game
another good
till
one.
this very day.
Another good one.
Like that. If I brought the camera right now to the game room to the Super Nintendo, that's in the Super Nintendo right now. Like that game to me, that's my game right there. Tokyo Swift is on you, bro.
You know, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go like it's not exclusive, but yeah, like I'm gonna say Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition. Like that was good. I had a lot of fun playing that game. I think that was the first game that I got for Super Nintendo. So it was like I think I had a lot of fun playing that game. Like it's a lot of core memories playing that game. So yeah, like I definitely got to go with that one for me.
What I find hilarious,
Akuma.
What I find hilarious is that Nintendo never got the championship edition of Street Fighter. Only Genesis got it, which I find interesting. I find that interesting.
Let's get to the last one, man. Let's see. Now watch this one be like best Xbox game, right? Like,
I mean, you might as well go. Got to go with the theme.
It's gonna be something we spoke about on the show. You'll see. Madden.
It's rigged, man. It's rigged.
Nah, it's not rigged at all. How can Madden? Next week I'm gonna have a live cam right here, just watching. Like, how can Madden improve? Look, man, I think the formula. I think this is the best shot they got. To be completely honest, y'all. NCAA now college football 25. They were always the guinea pig games, right? If they wanted a new feature, as they would add it to NCAA first, whether it was crowd, whether it was stadium impact, home field advantage, superstar mode, road to glory, basically same modes. You see what I'm getting at. Now they have that back. I spoke to some who played the college football game. Although there are some animations that are from Madden, it does not play like Madden. And I think that's going to give people a really good feeling when playing this new game. And I think that will allow Madden to then say, okay, since Madden is the cash cow, it's the baby, they can say, okay, now that that's working, we could just change the 1 foot rule to the 2 foot rule and put that in Madden, right? Just from the factor of now Road to Glory will be able to take that player from the college game and port it into thing. Now there's a new problem with the players because now there's 2 separate licensing agreements, right? You can't take the college players and then just put them into Madden because they're not NFLPA yet. That's already been out. People are pissed off about it, but you want the college players to get paid for being in the game. That's one of the setbacks. But I do think Madden can learn a lot because people are already hype over this college football game. And just listen to the fans, man. The best thing about this college football game, it is literally made by a bunch of folks who modded NCAA 14. They hired them onto the production team and the development team, and they allowed them to create the game in their likeness. That's why I implore everybody, even if you hate Madden, give the college football game a chance. If you have Game Pass, there will be a 10-hour trial. So there you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Check it out. It does not play. Hey, if anything, people are saying it plays like Maddens of the old, the ones that we grew up on and liked.
Nice. I agree with you, Jay, as in terms of like, just listen to the fans, man. Like, because I do like where the direction Madden has been going. Like in terms of like implementing things like the home field advantage thing just feels like okay, it should have always been there. The superstar thing feels like it always should have been there, stuff like that. So if I had to say anything like more to nitpick it, I was like, just clean up the simulation a little bit more. Yeah. There are definitely some wonky interactions that like I know that I've like almost thrown a controller if it wasn't like $70 to replace. But yeah, like it's definitely a lot of like it's kind of like broken things. But I mean, but it's kind of one of those things where it happens like, okay, it's a simulation game, and if you play long enough, you're going to find some really weird bug.
Absolutely.
It just sucks. It just sucks that when you find it in like the NFC championship game, you know, like in the fourth quarter, but but I mean, it happens from time to time. So I guess, yeah, it's just clean up the simulation a little bit. Like, obviously it's on the right track, because I mean, it wouldn't be selling this much if it wasn't. But yeah, like I said, just listen to the fans, keep implementing like things that they want, things that they don't want, stuff like that, because they're the ones who are paying for it. So
Gamer Live, look, before you go real quick, I want to say this. I know we do have some people who only listen to the audio. They can't watch. In the college football game, now Gamer Live, Look, and Tokyo Swift are both going to laugh at this. You can actually throw over the linebackers and still hit a pass before it gets to the secondary. Linebackers don't have 60-inch vertical jumps like they do in Madden, right?
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Right, you can't throw a deep cross over the linebackers' heads in that game. We finally have that back. Game Alive, look, how can you fix Madden?
Take a year off. Literally, take a year off. Make this Madden right now coming out, the Madden that you decide to start creating just DLCs, roster improvements, stuff like that, cosmetic stuff. Keep a core gameplay. Take the year off, like WWE did. Take the opportunity to revamp yourself and put yourself in a position where your fans are glad you're back. Your fans are happy with what you're producing. Your fans are gonna now die on the hill that's called EA. You don't have that right now. Your fans are looking at your college football right now as your savior. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
If another company decided to make, even if it's the XFL, I mean the UFL, that's what it's called now, they have an opportunity that if they create a good video game, if they get any kind of agreement to create a good video game right now, they could literally take you out. They could take Madden out right now, especially if it was like a 2K5 type game.
Yeah.
They could annihilate Madden's fan base just for a good game. And that's scary.
Absolutely.
That's scary to think about. The biggest issue with Madden is they haven't had competition in so long. They have nothing to worry. They feel that they have nothing to worry about. But
2K5 came out in 2004, and it's been.
That's a really smart
years.
take, man. That's a really smart take, because it's like, because I definitely like as sure as like both of you know, like at least like a few people is like, oh well, I only buy Madden every other year, you know, like like it just a wait for it to like to get more things, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, like if you keep putting out this like a game every year, it's going to be too hard to not make the game look like the last game that came out. So like, and if it's the same game pretty much just with a new guy on a cover, maybe a couple new songs in the menu, then I mean, like what's the point of like spending full price like on it? Like, so you mean, yeah, it's definitely I definitely co-sign.
Here's the thing. We're in an age right now of microtransactions. Everything is a microtransaction within the gaming space right now. They're not going to lose the money by missing a game.
Right.
Especially if they produce something that's worth holding on to, you're going to gain that money back in microtransactions tenfold, because the people are excited to play your game. The people are willing to invest in your game. The players, the fan base is willing to go and put their money in you because you provided confidence to them.
Absolutely.
You don't do that, you miss out. Call of Duty, Fortnite is the perfect example. Fortnite is a free game. You don't have to buy a base game. You don't have to do nothing. But guess what? The game is so damn good and has such a damn dedicated fan base that their microtransactions make that company a billion-dollar company off of Fortnite alone. Not even the rest of their lineup. Fortnite alone has made Epic Games a billion-dollar company because of microtransactions and knowing how to treat the player base. Let that sink in, gaming space. That's where it's at.
Absolutely. All right, that's all we got for this week's show, man. Shout out Wave will be back next week, but appreciate Tokyo Swift and Game Live Look for jumping on with us, man. And we'll catch you guys next week. We out. Peace.
Take it easy.
Man.